Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is something I'm trying live. I had 500 subscribers. So I'm screwing around here on YouTube. Perhaps I should have put it on StreamYard. I don't know. I'll just wait for some people to come in. This is my 500 subscriber appreciation show with BMR. I have nothing really to. Well, I have a lot to say, obviously, as always. So I'm just going to ramble on here for a little minute. I might just editing and deleting this, see if I get any people to come on. Scott, hey, welcome, man. I'm just starting out. I'm just, taking this by the seat of my pants. I never did this before. I'm just, I've got 500 subscribers today, or as of last week, I'm up to 515. And I thought I'd do something for you guys that have subscribed to me, and I appreciate it. I'll wait for some more people to come in, or maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. At any rate, yep, thanks. It's all good. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up. You're in Michigan, bro? Where are you at? Hey, all right. Parasolo, thanks for joining. All right. Hey, you're not going to work? All right. How you doing, Hilton? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm just rambling on, until I get more people. I never did this before, so I'm just going to kind of roll with it. You're in Sterling Heights. I worked in Sterling Heights before, Scott. I know exactly where that is. And it's about 45 minutes from where I live. I just wanted to come on today. As I said, I'm experimenting. I hit 500 subscribers last week. I'm Bigfoot Michigan Rob, and I want to give my thanks out to everybody that has subscribed. If you guys can, just share this out. I want to get to 1,000 in June. And as you all know, I'm with Texas Front Porch. We have a great lineup of shows there, and I really can't go on. I really can't go on by just saying that. Number one, I appreciate all of our subscribers. Yes, Bigfoot Michigan Rob, but Texas Front Porch. I started with Tex a year ago. We've turned that into an awesome channel. We have 4 live shows today. Monday, you got Texas Front Porch is at 6:30 Central with Tex and Jason Mclean. They have a great show, a lot of great guests. I'll take some credit. I'm the booking guy for all the shows, or for 2 of the shows anyways. They're on 6:30 Central, Texas Front Porch. That's the name of the show. Wednesdays, we have Jason Mclean Questions Everything. That's at 9 Central. Tune into that. It's Jason Mclean, myself, and Tex, and a lot of our other great people that work with us on Texas Front Porch. Thursday, of course, is Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob, 12 Central. Tex and I have all sorts of researchers on that show. And Fridays, introducing the lovely and talented Jessica Jones, Remote Viewing Investigations with Jessica Jones. Fridays, 8 Central, 9 in the East. We're discussing the Dyatlov Pass. So I got the bills paid, but more importantly, this is just about you guys. Thanks for allowing me to hit the 500 subscriber mark. And if anybody has any questions out here, I'd love to answer them. This is kind of a random thing. I'm kind of experimenting. So I see Nicola's in there. Hey, Nicola, Hilton Whittle would love you, brother. Dogface boy, what's up, buddy? Dan Lizzie's mama. Hey, how you doing? Southeast Michigan. Shout out to you. Arizona Forest Beings. Hi, how you doing? D.A. Roberts, man. Hey, D.A. Roberts. You know what? I did a show with D.A. Roberts not too long ago, a couple months ago. And then Tex and Jason followed up with D.A. Roberts, right? And let me tell you something. D.A. Roberts, subscribe to D.A. Roberts. That is one hell of a show. This guy is knowledgeable. He's former law enforcement. He's into cryptids. He's into the paranormal. I love the show. In fact, DA, I got to get with you, man, and have you on Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob, because that's just an awesome. You're awesome, dude. You know what you're talking about, and I appreciate you. Thank you, DA Roberts, for that and coming on. Chris Moe, how you doing, buddy? Again, this is a random show, you guys. I don't normally do this often, but I hit 500. I'm proud of that, and it's because of you guys, helping send out the love, sharing it out. I appreciate it. I'd like to get to 1,000 by June, because in June, myself, Tex, and Jason will be speaking at the Alabama Bigfoot Conference. That's right, held by Anita Collins, and that's a great opportunity for us to expand on our show and we're all about. We're all about the people. We're all about helping people out that have had encounters, and we're all about looking for. I won't say necessarily the truth, because that's so cliche today about talking about the truth, but what we talk about is what we've experienced, what our researchers have come across in the field. And again, Texas Front Porch, please subscribe. Please subscribe to Bigfoot Michigan Rob and DA Roberts, who has showed up. Mayred Hesketh, I love you, girl. I love that hair. I love that hair. Vera Ray, I love you, baby. Thank you for the congratulations. So again, this is just random. I kind of didn't expect anybody to pop in here, so I'm just playing around and having a good old time here today. Tex doesn't even know I'm doing this. I don't even know. He's out there. Tex is building a new studio, a new recording studio as we speak. So and we normally broadcast off StreamYard, and I just did this live on YouTube just to see what's going on. And I'm going to continue to ramble on here unless you guys have any questions or anything about our upcoming shows. It's interesting. This Friday, we're doing something that really nobody's ever done before with Jessica Jones regarding remote viewing. She is a remote viewer. She's been trained in it. She's been doing it for over 11 years. We are going to dive in this Friday or next Friday. We're going to be diving into the Dyatlov Pass incident. And Jessica has compiled data regarding that story, one of my favorite stories. So join Jessica, myself, Tex, and Jason, and perhaps Bob, and perhaps Randy. That's going to be a great show. And again, I hate to repeat myself for people coming in. I'm just popping on here to see what's going on. And thank you guys for your support and love. And moving forward, just kind of promote our shows. Texas Front Porch, the 4 new shows we have live. They're not new. 2 are newer, and 2 have always been along with you. So anyway, instead of rambling on about advertising here, I'm gonna talk about a story that has got some great reviews about a guest, not a guest, but a person that was on our show. Declined to be on the show actually at the last minute because of an encounter that they had, and it was quite. It took me aback, and this is why I do what I do today. This is in the state of Michigan, and some of you that have subscribed may have heard this. Some of you newer may not have, but I think it's worth repeating, especially doing something live here. Hi, Christine. This took place in Clare, Michigan, and we had a customer. I always say customer. I owned a bar for 13 years. It's still a viewer, a listener, a subscriber. Sent me an email that really took me back. It took me back. And they spoke about, this happened in 2015. 2015 to 2021, they would camp out in Clare, Michigan. I'm going to call this gentleman Jim, and he had his wife and his 3 sons. Jim had always camped in Clare, Michigan, and Jim had always come across unusual things in the forest. He'd come across footprints, tracks. He always felt he was being watched. He always felt that there was an unknown presence in the forest. Now, mind you, this has been going on for 5 years, and he never made mention to his family. He didn't want to spook them. He didn't know what was going on. And he came across what he described to me as X structures in the woods. Now, Jim was never a hunter or never a fisherman. Jim never spoke about Bigfoot or cryptids, and he says like an X structure. And he had made mention that the roots of the trees were uprooted. They were at the top of the structure, and the bottom would be planted firmly into the ground, couldn't be moved around. He also saw what he thought was bedding, like a big 8 to 9 foot bedding, but it was all interwoven and interlaced. Again, you guys, this is over a 5-year period. And during this 5-year period, he came across, as he explains, this weird phenomenon to himself. So fast forwarding to 2021, in May, he took his family camping. Again, he went out with his eldest son, and he went out to investigate the area. Upon his investigation of the area, everything was cool. He went back, got with the wife, the kids. They made a fire. They had dinner. They talked about spooky stories amongst the fire, amongst themselves. And then they all go to bed. Upon going to bed, they hear these strange sounds in the forest. Kind of like howls, maybe whoops. He did mention the word whoop in his email to me. Things that he had never really heard before. And Jim, as I made mention earlier, you guys, was not a hunter, but he was very familiar with the sounds in Clare, Michigan. In Clare, Michigan, there aren't any wolves. You have your raccoons, your possums, your deer. There's no bear. There's no real predators per se. Not that we know of anyways, right? So these sounds start getting louder and louder and louder during the night as they're getting towards camp. As it's getting towards their camp. And then it all stopped. So Jim got out with his eldest son and looked around. They didn't see anything. The embers of the fire were still glowing in the background. However, the family was still kind of scared. So what they did was they had 2 tents out there, and they all convened to go to bed for the second time in the single tent. So there's 5 people snuggle up in the tent for the night, kind of a little paranoid over the weird sounds they heard. About a half hour into their sleep, again, these whoops, these yells, these screams, they start up again. They get louder. They get closer. The family is now really getting scared. And now, to make matters worse, they feel like these yells and screams are like feet surrounding their tent. And now the tent is being pelted with rocks. Or it's being pelted with something. It's being hit, it's being tossed at, all amongst the front, the back, and the sides. All 5 of this family of 5 is huddled, snuggled up together, fearing for their lives. So what happens next is this: they hear a rambling and a rushing of a footfall is running through the front of the campsite. Heavy footfall. Jim describes it to me as he thought it was bipedal. He thought it was like 2 or 3 very heavily breathed, what he says, animals, perhaps creatures of some sort, running through, and then they hear a big crashing sound. The crashing sound comes down. Everybody's frightened. They're scared. The howls get louder, louder, and louder. Then all of a sudden they stop. They stop. And then half hour later, Jim finally gets up the wherewithal or the whatever. He had to get out and just see what was going on. Jim gets out of his tent, again with his family all in the one tent, and he looks for the second tent. This second tent, you can't find it. He's looking where he had put it up, and it's gone. Then he looks to the wood line amongst the embers of the fire he had burning, and it was about 20 yards into the wood line, destroyed. Now at this time, Jim looks to the wood line, sees the tent, and sees a set of 3 glowing eyes, reddish and green, standing in front of him from 20 yards away. You could see shadows. It appeared to be, as Jim explains to me, 9 foot tall at least, and just sitting up, staring at the family, staring at the campsite, where he was just unnerved. He did not know what to do. He was in shock, went back in the tent. That's where Jim ends his story. Okay? He ends the story there. And the reason I like to talk about this story is this. Jim texts me back. This May will supposedly, which should be the 6th year that they go back to Clare, Michigan. Jim and his family will never set foot in the woods again because of this incident. So, you guys, the reason I do what I do and what Tex does is because I believe I had a Bigfoot encounter. It was terrifying. And I know they exist. And it's a shame that people's lives can be altered in this manner. Jim held this in. Again, he watches our show. He sent me an email. He reached out. He said I could make it public. Just do not make mention of his name or his family, which I, of course, will not. Jim is just a name I made up for the tale. But that's why we do what we do, because if you have an encounter, you have an experience, and it don't have to be cryptid. It could be paranormal. It could be ghosts. It could be something unbeknownst. It could be high strangeness. I've experienced everything, you guys. We're here to help. That's why we do what we do on our show. Texas Front Porch. Please subscribe. Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob, of course, the other show. Jason Mclean questions everything, and Jessica Jones, remote viewing investigations. We have 4 shows. They're all live. For those of you joining late, this is my 500 subscriber show. I don't know what I'm doing. I just went live here on YouTube. We usually broadcast off StreamYard, but I had nothing to do on a Saturday, and I wanted to give out my thanks to everybody. And again, thanks for coming on. If anybody has any questions, please, show them out in chat. Hi, Les Hints. I see you, brother. 2 hours from me. Very good. Hey, Ronald, how are you doing, man? Again, there's Mayred, DA. But you guys, hey, listen, I just, this is a random thing. I appreciate everybody coming on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And Brown Dwarf, hey, buddy. How's it going? Me, Tex, and Jason will be speaking in the Alabama Bigfoot Conference. I think that's June 10th and 11th. That'd be cool. It'll be the first time that I've ever spoke publicly about Bigfoot or whatever, so I'm looking forward to that. And Thank you again, DA. And like I said, you guys, my channel's out there. Our channel, our network, we're out there just to help. We like to tell a good story. We like to share the encounters. We like to talk to the researchers. In our other, and I have to make this perfectly clear that our 4 live streams that we do, it's a variety of things. It's just not cryptids. We get into everything. We had a talk about the government. We had talk about disclosure. We have talks about coming up will be time travel. So if you're tuning in right now, you're like me. You like all things weird. You like all high strangeness. Our shows are about high strangeness. We don't talk about just one thing, right? We talk about everything. That's why we're on 4 nights a week, except for my show's on at noon. And we're going to have a 5th show. And we are also, I have another great announcement. Due to the success of our show, I'll be a little modest here, right? We are going to be we were picked up by Odyssey Radio, ODSY Radio. They'll be streaming our shows out on a digital broadcast network. And and all of our shows are going to be streamed live on iHeartRadio. I'm proud to announce that. They'll be starting up sometime in April. Again, you can find Jessica Jones on the Cryptid Huntress. You can find Jason Mclean on Serial Papers. You can find me on Bigfoot Michigan Rob and Texas Front Porch. And of course, Tex. You can find him on Texas Front Porch and on all of our other shows. So again, I just want to give a shout out to you guys. I love you. 500 subs is cool. No, it's not 50,000, but you know what? I'd rather put out quality than just hit the masses. Because what we do, we take very seriously. And in our audience, and our quality of viewers and people in our chat room are quality people too. And without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. I only came on today because I just felt compelled to tell you guys thank you. And also thank you for subscribing to Tex, because that's a great show. We got almost 3,000 subs on that. We're growing. That's big. We're not looking to be the biggest or the best, but we want to be the most genuine and sincere and do the best that we can to provide good quality content. So thanks for taking 22 minutes and 46 seconds out of your time today. I am Bigfoot Michigan Rob. And for Texas Front Porch, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And tune in and subscribe and show us the love, because we indeed love you. Thank you.